How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about things you can do when the market doesn't suit your specific strategy. Now, I haven't actually seen many videos on this before, and that's quite interesting because I think a lot of the times there will be situations where the market doesn't suit your trading style. For example, if you're a trend trader and the market's been consolidating for a long time, you're not really going to see many setups. And that's something that I've really seen. I like to trade with the trend. And over the last sort of month, GU has been pretty shocking with how it's been moving. It's been very sideways. It's not really been a trend for the majority of February. Now, when the market doesn't suit your trading condition, it can almost, tempt you into taking trades even though you shouldn't be, because you feel like, oh, if I go a whole month without trading and don't make profit, then, it's a bad month and, my strategy doesn't work anymore. And I know some new people will even look to change strategy just because they have one bad month where they just don't get any setups. Now, this is particularly bad thing to do. If you start switching strategies, obviously you are, you're not putting faith in the strategy you've spent a lot of time testing. If you switch to a new strategy, well, then you got to spend a lot more time back testing to actually get data on that strategy, and it can lead to many other complications. Now, if you want to know how I trade and how my strategy works, I'll leave a link in the description to my Telegram where I teach you exactly how I trade, along with zooms and certain positions that I'm looking to enter in current time. They're not signals, but they're just like, here's what I'm looking at kind of things. Having said that, February was a terrible month, so I didn't really post that many in there, but hopefully March will be slightly better. So what things do I do when the market doesn't suit my strategy? Well, the first thing I do is I use this time to backtest. Now, obviously backtesting is something you should always be doing. You should always be looking to improve your strategy. But I feel like when the market doesn't suit your trading strategy, it's almost like free time to just use to improve your strategy. Maybe there's a certain area you want to work on. Maybe it's your entries, maybe it's your direction, maybe it's a certain confluence, maybe it's liquidity, whatever it is, backtest it more and more. And that way, you're not only using this month in an effective way for your trading, it keeps you busy so that you don't end up taking trades that you probably didn't need or should be taking. Now, one thing that you could backtest or forward test is a new entry model or a slight adjustment to your strategy. So say you're a trend trader, say you trade in trending markets, something that I do a lot, and you don't have maybe an entry type or a confluence or a certain thing that you could maybe look to implement into consolidating markets for the future. Now, I'm not saying you go ahead and trade this consolidating market, for example, GU in February. All I'm saying is at other points in the year, maybe where your strategy doesn't fit the market conditions, you could then utilize that because you've spent a whole month back testing and forward testing the live markets, and you know exactly how to do it. That way, if it does ever happen again, you're gonna have a method to trade it, and it's not just gonna be, I'm just taking this because I need to trade this month. It's gonna be, okay, this actually fits my plan. I have a fair bit of data on it now. It's been forward tested, it's been back tested, and I know everything there is to know about this certain, strategy change. And I'm not saying change everything, don't scrap everything, keep your core main things the same. So for example, for me, it might be like a break of structure. Always keep that, because at the end of the day, you don't want to completely change strategy, like I said, but just make a little tweak that maybe will suit the consolidating markets more if you're a trend trader. Now, the next thing I would say that you could do maybe when the market doesn't suit your sort of trade strategy is to actually use it to build up your psychology. Now, this kind of goes into multiple directions, but the first direction I actually wanted to talk about was it gives you a chance to improve areas that maybe you don't have as much time to do normally. So for example, say you overtrade, or say you are a revenge trader, or something like that, right? Well, that normally means you have a lack of discipline in following your trading plan. So what you could do is you could use this time to build discipline that then correlates to you being able to trade your plan more effectively. God, that was a mouthful. So what I mean by that is, for example, if you wanted to build discipline, you could do some running, you know, something that I don't do, but you could do. You could go for a run, or you could go to the gym, which is something I do enjoy to do. But you can do these different things that you maybe don't necessarily start out wanting to do, but then you build the discipline, which then in turn means you're going to be more disciplined when it comes to following your strategy, if you see where I'm going with this. So maybe you work a normal job. Maybe you're just busy on the charts a lot in busier trading months, and maybe you just don't have the time to do a run or the gym or something like that. Now, a lot of gurus will tell you wake up at 5 a.m, and make the time for it. I don't really agree with that. I just think do what works for you. I'm fairly what's the like fancy term, laissez-faire, something like that. I'm very laid back with how I approach this, and it works for me. Obviously it might not work for you, but it does for me. But what I'm saying is, maybe you just don't have time, like actually don't have time to do those sort of things. Well, if the market isn't suiting your trading strategy, then you have a bit more free time that you could then supplement your trading hours for going to the gym or going for a run or doing something like that, that is then going to build your discipline, so that when the market does suit your strategy, you can come back feeling extra prepared. Your psychology will be better, and things like that. Now, the other side to building psychology in these sort of markets is actually it's really good at building patience and sitting on your hands. And a lot of trading is about this. In trading, less is definitely more. The less time you're in the markets, the less risk you're exposed to. So if you're having conditions where the market isn't suiting your strategy, use that time to practice your patience. Use that time to practice sitting on your hands and say, you know what, this doesn't really fit my setup. I'm not going to take the trade. So it kind of sounds like a bit of a torture method where, you got the charts open and you basically force yourself to practice patience. And it may seem a bit weird, but I promise you, if you can sit there and watch a trade that you maybe would want to take go without you, or, just happen without you, and you do that over a month where it properly doesn't fit your strategy, you'll actually build quite a lot of patience and discipline on the ability to sit on your hands when the market isn't presenting exactly what your strategy says. So I'm not saying, say the market presents a perfect strategy that fits your plan entirely, obviously take that. Don't miss out on actual trades that you would take normally. But say, as a trend trader myself, say the market is consolidating and I see one or two of my confluences that I need to get into a trade. Instead of normally going, oh, well, that's good enough, and just entering and probably getting stopped out, sit on your hands, don't trade it, just watch it happen and force yourself to build that patience of not entering every single trade. And it's something that I've done, and I probably could have done it better, to be honest. In February has wrecked me, I'm not gonna lie, but you'll see that in the Sunday video about my sort of breakdowns. You can vouch, it was an absolute shocking month over here. Well, it wasn't that bad, it was like a couple % down, but you know what I mean. But yeah, use that time to build patience, by far the best thing you can do. So I hope you guys found today's video useful. I hope that it maybe brought you some sort of light to what to do when the market doesn't fit your strategy, because as I said, I haven't seen many videos really around this. But yeah, hopefully you found it useful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.